Hello everybody, welcome to another video. I hope you guys are doing well. If you're new here, my name is Ashley and welcome to my home. Today is going to be a different video. Someone actually commented on one of my previous videos whether I can talk through how I furnish my home on one income. So if you're new here, again, I'm Ashley Morgan. I live by myself. I'm single. I don't have any kids. I'm 35 years old and this is my first home. I lived with my mom for 6 years right after college, and then after that moved into this house, which I wasn't planning on. Honestly, I wasn't really doing a whole lot of planning, but those are like previous videos that you can go to get more background in that. All of that is going to be talked about in this video a little bit on how I processed and thought through and the kind of tips and tricks I did to furnish my first home, which is a small 3-bedroom, 2-bath here in Houston. And yeah, I'm the only one that fully occupies it, but I do think about like the rest of my family. Like I have nieces, I have 2 nieces, I have blended family, I have bonus mom, my dad, and then I have a nephew, 2 sisters, you know, and my mom. So I have family that I think about when I like host and stuff. So let me stop talking to y'all through the mirror. So yeah, I have family that I think about when I host and when I decorate and furnish the home. So I'm gonna go through all of the things that I think about and kind of like pretty much how I decided to do what I did in order to furnish the house. So let's go ahead and get into it. This is going to be a whole bath kind of home tour, meaning we're only going to hit the hot spots, like the main areas that you guys may think about when you're moving into your space. And this is a house. These like things that I think about, you can do that with an apartment, with a townhome, honey. It doesn't matter. Your own space, just, you know, do what you can. That is exactly what I did. So let's go ahead and get into it. First things first is my entryway, which is this entire area. First and foremost, my entire home is not like fully furnished. I may have been here for 6 years, but I have decided to take my time. And as I decided to take my time, my taste has changed. So yeah, I'm just showing you guys where things have left off before I like decide to do whatever I decide to do to each space. But this is a mirror from Walmart. All of this honestly is pretty affordable. This one is a little bit like I paid a little bit more for this arrangement, but my mom helped me make that arrangement. We went to a decoration store, child, somewhere deep in Houston that she always had me driving way out the way to go to these places. But who the heck is this? Hold on, y'all. That was another box going into the ship and receiving, as you see politely over there. But this entire area, if you don't know, I'm a full-time content creator. So a lot of what I've done decorating wise has been with like partnerships in mind as well, and places that I normally shop at. So if it was like a brand collaboration that is coming to, or, you know, something that I can do to kind of make money also at the same time, like furnish my house, I did it. So this was a partnership with Walmart, a home partnership with Walmart. So, and I love Walmart and I love shopping affordable things. You know, that's pretty much what I do here for the people that have already been here. But the mirrors from Walmart, the table is from Walmart. I think these are, I don't remember what these from, maybe Hobby Lobby or At Home. Those are from Amazon for the newbies. And that is from Amazon as well, I think. I tried to create some kind of like elevated space on a budget pretty much. So it's just me, like I said, one income, and I filled spaces with some things in mind as far as like how I wanted things to look based off like Pinterest. What I would change overall was like, instead of just looking at homes and imagining the type of home I wanted to be in, I think I would have imagined even deeper about what I want the home to look like once I get in it. But again, this is my first space. So I would say definitely if you're getting into your first space, give yourself some grace, because once you get in it, you know, you have a vision, and once you live that vision, you're gonna change. You're gonna evolve, your taste is gonna change. So definitely give yourself some space to evolve. And like if you plan on changing the whole first home, then do that. As you change, just take your time. Don't try to hurry up and fill spaces, because you definitely want to change even if you like it when you buy it. I didn't hurry up and get this part done, and it's not even fully how I wanted it to look when I got the house, because I don't want to hurry up and fill up space. I want things to look right. I want it to feel right. And yeah, so I knew I wanted an entry table. I also wanted like other things on the opposite side of the wall that have not gotten in that space yet. But honestly, I'm still taking my time. I don't think you have to rush into anything because, like I said, as I'm living in here, as I'm in the space, I get an idea of what I want things to feel like, look like. I do a little Pinterest study, research or whatever. And now I'm in the space where I don't want so much neutral and coolness. I'll kind of want some warmth and color. So that kind of changes, you know, as well, depending on what you've already been exposed to. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that. But I left this where it was. Very affordable, honestly. Like the table was under $100. The mirror was $100. The stuff from Amazon was very affordable. I have throws all over the place because I keep my house cold. So that was like easy to kind of throw into some baskets. So all of that was pretty easy to put together. And again, I just kind of looked at, you can style it based off of what you find on Pinterest, you know, how you style whatever kind of entry tables and all of that. Change it up during the holiday season. So that is pretty simple, especially if you're looking at things on a budget. Walmart, Amazon, Hobby Lobby, At Home, all of those different places. Target, if you decide to shop there, all of those different places are good places to find home decor on a budget. This is my guest bedroom, and I didn't do any like source shopping for my guest bedroom. It is literally the furniture that I had at my mom's house when I was living with her. This was the bed I had. I had 2 nightstands. Both nightstands can't fit in this room, and I do have a chair over there that I want to throw away. That's pretty much it that's in this room. Outside of this TV, those were like the basics that I know I wanted to have in the room. I definitely have a ceiling fan because I like to stay cool. So I know my people are like going to want to stay cool. So I don't have anything on the walls yet because I want this to be a full project. I want to actually dive deep into what I want this room to look like. And I know I'm going to put some color in here. This is going to have like an actual duvet. This is going to be the duvet and whatever color scheme I decide to go with. And then the black is going to be the base. And of course, some art on the wall and paint and all of that good stuff, draping and all of that. But once you get in the space, especially if you're getting in a multiple bedroom home, like don't feel bad about using what you already had at your last or living with your people or whatever to go ahead and transition that into one of your additional rooms. If you want to start there, you don't have to buy a whole brand new situation. Just kind of like use what you have, put it in the space. If you decide to change it, then definitely change it. You want to donate it, do that. You don't have to like go and like everything has to be completely fresh because you're going to your brand new space. Like no, it's not that serious. Even though this is a set that I used at my mom's house, like when I have company coming over, they're like, hey, can I stay in the chateau? Like they don't mind. They love the fact that it's a bed. The bed is comfortable. They have a TV. They have a door and a space that they can call their own, put their stuff off to the side in a closet or whatever. Like they have their own space. And I think that's what I thought about more when I decided to get the house. It's like I wanted people to be able to come in and have their own space. It does not have to start off looking perfect. And even though I've been here for 6 years, I don't feel no type of way about my house not being done. I've been in people's homes that have been in there for 10 plus years and they're still like wanting to change things and work things out and move things around and revamp whole rooms that were completely done. So you can be in a space for a long time and, like I said, evolve, your taste change, you come around something or come across something that makes you want to change the entire space because now you have a whole new vision. Like, especially if you're a decorator, like that, you know, definitely happens. So give yourself some grace on that. And I typically like to take my time. I don't want to rush into anything and I don't want to just buy to fill spaces, but I do want, especially like in a guest bedroom, something there for them to be able to enjoy the space at least and have their own space. So I have friends and family that will come over, visit, and this is the space that they stay in. But this is the first guest bedroom. And then the next one I'm gonna show you is the office. Now this is the office. It is not presented for you guys in the way that, oh my gosh, it's absolutely amazing. No, this is a utilized, lived in office. I actually had I made this the accent wall, and that is the name of my channel. Okay, yeah, that's the name of my channel, as you guys know. But I got that from Etsy, and the wall, I actually got these panels from Amazon, as you guys know. And again, some of the decorations that were done in the office were in partnership with Walmart. This was in partnership with Walmart. So were these, what are these, poofs? Also this chair and that table as well. Like I threw some other stuff, and I was gonna do an entire wall, but then now I've changed my mind exactly as to what I want to do in this office. So there's that. I like a TV. Okay, TV is up there. Curtains were up there. I hung them myself, and then they fell like months later. So I'm like, I'm not gonna do that again because I thought I hung them very well, and then they just fell. So I was like, okay. This is also something that I had at my mom's house. This was a mirror that I already had there that I was using. So I was like, okay, that would look good. Even though it's like mixed with different hardware in here, it still goes very well. And I needed a mirror in here. So if I wanted to revamp everything, like I said, I can do that at some point. I don't have to start completely over, and you don't have to start completely over when you're getting into your new space. If you want to, that's different. I put in what I had already, and I've allowed myself to live in the space first and then decide what I want to do with it. And then, like I said, that developed into something later on. So things have been paused on. I know in this office, I do want to have an additional space for other people to sleep. So this will eventually be a flex room where I can use it as an office, as well as a second guest bedroom for family and friends. When they decide to come over, they can have the option of which room they want to stay in. The office was designed with content creation in mind. So the big open space in the middle, you know, that's with tripods in mind. Accent wall is with, like, you know, filming and all of that stuff in mind. Where the table is, where the desk is, and the type of desk it is, also filming and shooting and all of that in mind. So if I were not shooting in this space, I would not have created it in the way that I did. Yeah, I like ended up changing out the door because I wanted something a little bit more stylish. Like, don't it's a little junk around there, but like, yeah, you have the option of changing that stuff out. And I got this from Amazon as well. I also did a little specialization with the closet. I almost don't want to show you guys this because this is a working closet. I come in and out of here, but like PR that I have like all the shelves over there, and then like hanging space and drawer space right here that I don't want to show you because it is junky. But yeah, I've created this specifically for my job so that I can have some storage space. Also, I didn't come up with that realization that that's what I wanted to do in this closet until I lived in here a little bit, utilized the space, and was like, okay, I kind of like, I'm receiving a lot more PR boxes, and for my job, I do some style and fashion, so I need a place for some things to kind of overflow. I do have a big closet and like master closet, and I can put some pictures of what it looked like before and after I got it designed with the Container Store. It was their Alpha system, which I don't think they have anymore. I think they've done away with that particular system for the custom closets, but that my master closet and this closet for my office are both the Alpha system. I think it's Alpha. But Alpha. So those are things that I thought of once I was in here. Again, like even those closet customization, that is something you can finance if that's in your steez, or if that's something you want to do, or you can save for. You don't have to have it when moving in. I originally was like, I gotta have a custom closet before I move in. Girl, please. I was so ready to get in this house. I was not worried about, I mean, I wanted a custom closet, but I'm glad I got in the space and lived in it first, because just being excited to have a custom closet and getting in the house, I would have not really known what I needed after living in the space. I think that is very important for any and all rooms, depending on how many rooms you get or whatever the space is. It could be a 1-bedroom, 1-bath. Live in it first before you feel like you need to fill the space up, because you're probably gonna change your mind anyway. And then also, you don't really know what you need yet until you live in the space and allow the space to then be decorated and formatted in a way that serves you as you're living in the space. Now we're in the living room, dining, kitchen area, and main thing I didn't know when I decided to get the home, which again was like not something I was originally planning for. I just went, and I love looking at houses. I just went and looked at homes in the area and then talked to a guy and was like, oh, you can afford a home? And I was like, what? Say less. And then ended up getting a house. So I did a whole lot of planning wasn't done before I got into this home. But what I will say is I didn't really know what my spending practices would be. I had never been in my own space to be able to dictate, okay, what are you comfortable with paying for certain things? And after living a little bit in the house, I've learned once I find, and my mama told me this a long time ago, and she said it, but you kind of have to live it a little bit before you recognize, okay, yeah, you're right. Once you find what you like, some people want to do searching and find something maybe at a cheaper price. I don't like doing that. To me, that's like shopping at Ross. I'd rather find what I like and then see if it's something I'm comfortable with paying. And that's different if I'm not comfortable with paying it. Like if it's something that I found that I love and it's like, girl, that is $8,000. Absolutely not. You know, okay, then yes. But I don't mind paying a little bit more for something that I absolutely love and fine, because I also don't like searching. I'm not a big searcher. And that's something I've found out about myself after getting in the house. I don't like to search. And I didn't realize that trickled into all things. Like, I don't like to look for and search even when shopping, like just for clothes. I'm one of the people that I needed to pop out at me. Same deal with home buying regarding decor. Once I find what I like, I know what I like, and I'm very specific with what I like. So I go ahead and get it, even if it's like a $2,000 or something like that. I'm gonna get it. You know, I'm gonna make it work because I like that, you know? So let's talk about the living room. So again, this is the hot spot areas of the homes that you may be thinking of when you're getting ready to furnish and decorate your home. One thing I want to, or a couple of things I want to address when decorating the living room is, not only was I like, okay, it's just me, I'm on one income, I want it to be something that I'm willing to pay for, but also I had a specific, now I did have a specific vision of what I wanted to feel like in my living room furniture, like on my living room furniture, which was, not only am I going to furnish this with my budget in mind, but also I'm going to furnish this with my plus size family in mind. I'm plus size. A lot of my family members are plus size. Me and my family are very close. I want it to be something that allows us to like get in, snuggle. They feel at home. They feel comfortable. They feel like loungy whenever they are here. So when I found certain things in my, like going around the internet or whatever, I was like, okay, yeah, that's going to give me the look. It's going to give me the look I want, or that's going to also give me the feel that I want myself and my company to feel when we're lounging. So I definitely knew I wanted something deep seated, double wide or extra wide type furniture. So when I came across this set from Rooms to Go, I immediately was like, yes, because I wanted a cool tone feel to my main living area. I didn't want too much color. Since then, my preferences have changed. I do want more warmth and stuff now, but I do feel like the color scape that I've gone with regarding this house fits this house perfectly. So now the changes that I want in a whole different home. But yeah, this is a Rooms to Go set. Actually, this was normally just the sofa and then one of the chairs, but I decided to get two of the chairs and then the deep-seated sofa. I love how loungy, like I said, loungy it is. It's held up all 6 years. I think I've only had one maintenance on it, and I think both were incidental. So it wasn't like it just gave out or anything like that. But yeah, I love how wide this is. Two good big booty Judy size women, hippie women have sat in. Like, I love my family and we are all hippie, tons of thighs, tons of all the things, and two people, two good sized people can sit in each chair. So this sits like 4, and then of course this can sit 4 as well. So 8 people can sit in this living room. And I got both of those from Rooms to Go. When I got them, I financed them. And it was same as the cash. What is it called? Same cash as what? Same cash? What is it called? Girl, my mind. Same as cash. Same as cash. I didn't have any interest or anything like that because I think it was like during one of those Rooms to Go sales where you can get same as cash for the first 6 to 8 months or something like that. And then I was like, okay, yeah, I could pay it off in that. So that's how I went about getting the actual furniture, the sets. This is from Wayfair. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, absolutely. I wanted a fireplace cozy kind of situation, but I am a person that loves to be cold. I don't need an actual functioning fireplace. I just need the look. So when I found this on Wayfair, I was like, immediately yes. Immediately yes. So that, and then this was actually through a gifted campaign with Decenio, I think it is, the art company. These two art pieces, I feel like they went really well with the faux fireplace, and the faux fireplace is really an electrical space heater. So I love how much space and storage it has in it for all of my throws and whatnot, pillows, because again, I have a whole loungy feel and I want my people to feel comfortable. So I got plenty of throws. I got a throws laying on the couch, 2 throws on this couch, and then I got a throw over there, and 2 throws in here, and then 2 pillows in there. And the plush rug is also from Rooms to Go. So everything that I thought about for this main area was lounge, relaxing, all the things. And this is a remote control light and ceiling fan from, I think, Amazon. Got my contractor to install it. It is not the normal fixture that came with the house. So like with my remote, I can just like turn it off or turn it on or whatever, and then turn the ceiling fan off and on or whatever. And girl, like an absolute must have, because I got so tired of getting up and down when I got colder, hot and colder. So this is my kitchen. And again, when I thought about this space, because the cabinets and all of that, backsplash and all of that was selected before I even started the process of the house, because someone backed out of it. I walked in during a time where I couldn't make any changes, but thankfully, based on the availability of what they had, this is what I would have chosen. So based on the cabinets, I already knew I wanted a cooler tone home, like main area. So as soon as I saw these, I was like, yes. As soon as I saw these bar stools, I was like, absolutely. Okay. I saw them and I was like, okay, found them. And then they were only available in 2. I knew I needed 4. I want, like, the way I wanted it to look, I knew I needed 4. So I got 2. I did a little research, and you know I can't stand doing all that extra research to find what I need. But once I found what I wanted, I was like, I need to find the other 2. So they come in a set, and they only had 2 available on Wayfair. And then I found the other 2 on, it's another company that starts with a J that I can't remember, but it's very similar to Wayfair. Joss and Main. So I love the rings on the back. I love the studded look. It tied in very well with the sofa. Found that same kind of feel with this bench on Wayfair as well. And it's not even matchy-matchy. Like, this is velvet black, and this is like a denim looking black, and this is like a nice tucked gray, but nothing is matchy-matchy. But at the same time, everything is matchy-matchy. Nothing is matchy-matchy in texture, but matchy-matchy in color. Definitely got these. I wanted to do a little bit more personalization with some pendant lights, and my contractor was so kind to install these, because I was like, yes. As soon as I saw them, I was like, absolutely. Because the shape of them, all of that, I love it. My contractor he did this accent wall with the black matte wainscot design. Very simple. I didn't want something that I have been seeing everywhere. But when I saw this, I was like, oh my gosh, it's simple and perfect for this space. And just like add a little different light, which I think is too high. We need to drop it down, but we need to get some added rods for that. This was the only rod that came with it. But yeah, added a light with it. And honestly, like I said, I may be ready for a more warm feel of my home, but because everything fits this home so perfectly, I was like, absolutely. All the other stuff may not be done, but the main area is pretty much done. I only wanted like maybe a mirror right here, and then some like museum picture lights over that there, and that's pretty much, oh, and raise this curtain up because that's too low. And that's pretty much it for this space. It just looks, I love how that looks. I love how before you even get to my bedroom, that accent wall is tied over here as well. And if I wanted to, without taking up too much space, I could add another bench there for added seating. So like, that's another way to think about when you get into your space, like how do you want it to feel? Also, once you find one thing and then you have like, you start getting a whole look in mind, then it kind of helps you tie together everything else, which is why I feel like this tone and the furniture and everything for this space fits this house so perfectly, because it is a smaller living room. This area is very like small and could get very tight if like I had the back of the couch this way and like all of that. So all of those things were thought through once I came into the space. Me and my mom measured it. I originally got and purchased a different couch. It was a sectional, deep-seated sectional, which was way too big for the space. And when I came across these, I was like, absolutely. Coffee table is from a Malzahn. I forgot. I don't know if I mentioned that, but yeah, you can pretty much go online or around in different places and find what you need at different price points. Like I said, I'm not a searcher, so I'm willing to pay more for something that someone else may not be willing to pay. You may want to go and find a different option, and you have like, I'm so sure that there are dupes of different things out there if you don't want to pay the market price of whatever it is or whatever the look is that you originally want. Finally, last spot of the hot spot furniture talk through is the bedroom. And this is, I want to say, this isn't the most expensive piece. Okay, technically it's not, but it's like the most, okay, you paid that for that kind of piece. Like, you imagine paying $2,000, $3,000 for your sofa and set or whatever. This was like, I want to say either, I think it was $2,800, but it was from Restoration Hardware. As soon as I saw it, I was like, absolutely, absolutely. My mama had to talk me into getting it then, but I knew I wanted it. And again, I don't do the searching. Once I find what I like, I get it. And I'm sure people have told me, girl, you could have got that for something similar at, such and such place. And then they send me the link to whatever the similar is, and they don't give me this. When I see this is what I want. Okay. And my bedroom is not completely done. So this is a Restoration Hardware mirror. I want to say it's 6 6.5 feet. And then they had one that would go all the way up here. And that's the one I originally wanted, but I was like, I have the sleigh at the top of my bedroom. So I wasn't able to get that. But if that sleigh was not there, baby, this mirror will be all up here. Now, granted, I wouldn't be using all that space, but the look is what I would have wanted. So this is the mirror that I have. And because I've changed like my preference in the tone of what I wanted, I was like, okay, since the living room area fits so well with the tone, the cool tone, let me change to a more romantic situation with my bedroom, more warm. The bedroom is not done. The bedroom is not done. Furniture is done. Decorating is not done. So here's the bare bones of what I started with. Again, love a good faux fireplace. So when I found this on, guess where? Walmart. I was like, absolutely. All of this is Walmart and pretty much Target decor. The faux fireplace is from Walmart. I love the warmth of, even though it's like a gray, it's like a warm gray. It actually is coming off cooler on the screen versus in real life. And then all of the decorations minus these two items and then maybe that pampas are from Target. That's from Target. Like that is actually a part like of my reading chair over there. And reading nook in a bedroom, absolutely. But this is like a good space. I would have loved to be able to have this space for like a bench or something here. But when I'm willing to splurge on certain things. And so when I have a specific thing in mind, I'll do that. But when I'm like, okay, I want something that's going to add warmth, faux fireplace. I don't have to do any structural changes or anything to my wall to install it in the wall. So what I'm going to look for, Walmart, and came across this and go to places where I'm willing to pay for things that are going to satisfy my needs that are also within my budget. So you can do that as well. And of course, like a lot of these places, even I haven't even mentioned, what is it? Costco, Sam's Club, like all those places that have other decorations, Home Depot, Lowe's, that you can look for other options that will satisfy your needs without you having to like do structural changes. So again, I wanted to have the warmth. I never turn this thing off. It is also a space heater. And I love how I was able to add like some of that here. Again, this is just a piece of furniture. We haven't done the full decorating of this space, and save so much space by mounting your TV. Bed is from, I want to say Ashley Furniture. No, it's an Ashley Furniture bed that I found that I like. And my mom and I would shop at a furniture store a lot, and she would like give us discounts of furniture that was on the market here in Houston, and we can possibly find it for cheaper with her. So this set and this like champagne nightstands, we were able to find cheaper with her as well. So I was like, definitely wanted something that was going to give me a taller headboard because of the space to fill up here, so it just takes less work for me to have to fill up that space. And how I want to fully decorate this space, that is in a totally different video that I can, if I remember, link here, so that you can watch that entire video and see the vision of what I have for this room. Enough space, thankfully, for a reading corner, a space for me to like kick my feet up, because also I was like, okay, I don't want to be in my bed all the time. If I want to just come in this room and chill or watch TV or read a book or just be in my space, I don't want to have to be in the bed. So of course, like seating, absolutely seating. And this is from Walmart. Amen. That's from Walmart. And this was a campaign. So another tip, you are a creator or you are an aspiring creator and you want to like do things. That's another reason why I take my time sometimes. If you want to do things to your space, find a way to incorporate it into income in your business, because one, it's a write-off. There's that. Two, it's a business expense, so it's a write-off. And then two, it also will bring income based off of the collaboration. So that is another strategy I use with my home. Some of the things that I've thought about doing in my home, like my back patio, the reading corner, the things in my office, even like just some small home upgrades, stuff like that, I've done through campaigns that allowed me to refresh my home and add things to my house that is a business expense because I did it in a campaign, but also brings in income for my home. So those are other options, especially if you work from home. Anything you do in your office space is a business expense. So the decor, business expense, the printer paper, all of that stuff that you're doing in that space, all of that are business expenses. So don't forget to like keep those receipts or keep that stuff in mind when it comes to tax time, because your entire space, even like I don't care if it's a house, an apartment, a townhome, whatever space you use for work, that's the space that you can expense on your taxes and then get some deductions off of your income before any taxes and all of that to see what you owe for the end of the year. You get that that income knocked down, you know what I'm saying? So just keep that in mind for those people that work from home and you have an actual designated space. When you're decorating, that stuff is work. Write that off. talk to your tax accountant and CPA. However, I was an accountant. I'm an accountant. So yes, but still go with what they know. They will give you like the whole calculation and measurements and stuff like that as to like, okay, what's the measurement of your home versus what's the measurement of your office space or your working space? And then that is the percentage of your home that you get to write off for work, all that woo-to-boo. Okay, did you do any fine touches or any added things? Like I have a generator, like, so a portion of that generator is considered business because a portion of my home is business, and that business needs to continue to run if lights don't have, you know, if Houston decided not to have lights, you know, during a hurricane or something like that. So all of those things are things to think about that keeps you being able to get the things that you need, but also being able to get them in a different route. That makes sense. So this video is already longer than what I want it to be, but overall is don't feel like you need to rush in furnishing the space that you are getting into. Just because you're getting into a new space doesn't mean that everything you bring into that space has to be brand spanking new. Give yourself some grace in there. Allow yourself to bring some things over so you're not in a rush to fill things and buy a whole bunch of stuff in order to fill the space. Give yourself some time and grace on that, as well as give yourself time and grace to live in the space a little bit and allow yourself to know what you want and need to function in those different spaces in your home, so that you're not wasting your money and you're not feeling like you have to cough up a bunch of money in order to make those purchases quickly. Also, if you are working from home, don't forget to consider those business spaces that you have. If you're deciding to move into a new home, or you already are in your home and you're just like trying to find out different ideas in how to furnish that house, you know, use Pinterest and all of these different research things in order to get the different ideas and decorations in how you want that space to look, but also know that you have the ability to write stuff off as business expenses, because that is a space that you are using to bring income back into the home. That is your business space. Even if you're working a 9-to-5, that is a space that you are using for business. So definitely consider those things when you're talking to your tax accountant or whomever it is that you use when you are doing your taxes at the end of the year. Not no Flojo. Okay, not your auntie from around the way. Get you somebody for real. And you can go to Intuit with TurboTax. They allow you to have CPAs if you have like more strenuous things going on, investments in child support or all these different things, annuities and all these different things. You can get that help from that software, Intuit, TurboTax. And just take your time, have fun with it, allow yourself grace, because you will change your mind whenever you are trying to fill your space. I did all of this on one income, but I also did some of it with the strategy of, okay, I have a content creation business and I want to partner with certain brands in order to furnish some of these spaces. So I left and took my time with some of those spaces, and I still take my time. I've been here 6 years and I am nowhere near done. There are people who have been in their homes for 15, 20 years and still are nowhere near done. There is no reason why you have to be completely finished. Of course you want to be finished, but you don't have to rush yourself to that deadline. Once you know what that space looks like, go forth with whatever that vision is, but don't feel like you have to rush yourself to get there. All of that hopefully are helpful tips when you are furnishing your space, your new home, your house, your apartment, whatever, on one income. Take your time, and I hope you guys enjoy your new space, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. Let me know if you want more home decor kind of videos. I don't know what else I could say, but you could throw some ideas out there in the comments and then we can make that work. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will talk to you guys on the next video. Bye.